T-Boys TV, we are here. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 225. Obviously, we're here in person, Dad.
Come
Come on.
Sorry for the delay, guys.
Yeah, sorry for the delay in two different ways. Obviously, we didn't do one last time. I was ill, really bad. I was actually sick, and that is rare. I'm ill, but I'm recovering. Obviously, I've been at the Oxford game since. I'll be honest, I pushed myself to get out of that, but it actually sort of helped. I feel a lot better. So, yeah, obviously in this one, a lot to discuss, which obviously is that game being part of that. And then obviously we're going to talk a little bit on Kone. There's been a bit of an improved bid apparently. Don't know how much exactly, but there has been one. And then obviously we'll preview the Millwall game early kickoff tomorrow. So first of all, Dad, how are you? How have you been?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. Hope everyone's cool. Got a new trim and that. Yeah.
It's looking like Usyk. Well, if you're T-Boys TV OG, you know back in the day he had a trim like that as well, actually, when we did, and if you hadn't seen it, Fury versus Wilder 3, I think it was, preview we did. Very similar trim back then, so yeah, he's gone back to that. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So Oxford, going into it, I'm going to briefly talk on it. I mean, looking at the lineup, based on how the game went anyway, as fans, we were happy, especially me, because I wanted to see Elijah up front because Morris, it was too predictable. And I thought Elijah could bring a different dimension to his game. It's good to see him in. Jones, obviously, stuck with him. It's interesting with Bloomfield going into this game because they say he heavily rotates. Under Rob Edwards, he didn't really rotate when we had quick turnaround. So it's interesting to see how much he did rotate. Obviously, Doughty was on the bench. That was great to see. We knew he'd have some sort of involvement, however many minutes that was to be. But other than that, it's probably what we really would have wanted, which was obviously Kaminsky in goal. It was a back four, of course. Bell, Holmes, McGuinness, Hashioka. Good to see that Hashioka was still in. I thought he deserved it really. Nakamba just in front of them. Then you had Nelson on the left side, Jones on the right, Clark, Krause, and then Elijah up front. So you look at that and you think, well, you're liking that. You're liking that. Clark's been good the last few games. Krause always puts a shift in. Nakamba was really good in the last home game against Preston. He was good in the home game before that. Things like that you like. Jones, obviously, new signing, looks good. And then on the bench, you had Anderson, Brown, Doughty, Krul, Morris, Ruddock, Walsh, Walters and Woodrow. So you look at that and you think, well, you got the options there, and it was a good lineup. Looking at it, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, good lineup. It was actually what I would have went with. And it's good to see, like I say, Doughty on the bench. So yeah, and the formation as well, forward to back still. I like the fact that the Canby put him in, in front of the defence. And yeah, it was a decent lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Happy. I was happy with that. I knew it'd be a very difficult game going into it, because Oxford, they have done well this season. You have to give them credit, and they are second in the form table, or they were, the last couple of games. So it was always going to be difficult going there, but we needed to win, really. Like I said, going into it. Obviously, some of you wouldn't have seen it. I had to put it out on TikTok. I tried to put it out on YouTube and that, but yeah, it just weren't working. So yeah, I was saying on there, we needed to win, really. We're in that situation now. Other teams are getting results. I mean, Hull are currently playing right now. They're 1-0 up away at Sheffield United. Credit to them. But it's not looking good. 23rd. You never want to say, like Mark said the other day, coming out of the game, you never want to say it's a must win with 20 odd games left, but it is for us. We've got to that stage because it's just the same repetitive stuff. And again, you can't put that down to the manager. It's the players now. The players have to take responsibility because a lot of them the other day stunk the place out. Yeah, there was 3 good players for me the other day, and that was Nakamba, Clark, he was good again. And I thought Hashioka was okay. People said, he should have been better on the first goal. Well, the fact and the reality, we should have cleared it way after that, to be quite honest with you. And tackling, I thought he was brilliant. A lot of people have been worried about him one-on-one against players and stuff. Well, he done much better than Bell. who's a lot more experienced, who was all over the place, letting the guy get past him. I couldn't believe it. We've been saying weeks upon weeks, it's probably the worst time we've seen him in a Luton shirt. That game just went on top of all of that. He was terrible. He was just letting the player run. It was so bad. And there was a moment they should have had a penalty, I'll be honest. Him and Nelson had a bit of a scuffle. I'm not going to blame Nelson because we shouldn't have even got in that situation in the first place. Bell should have just went to him. It was like just letting him go past him. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I mean, the first half, there was good moments. There was good moments where I was thinking, all right, it's the Luton of olden ways in the sense of, the way we're passing it through. Nice football. Elijah probably should have scored. But before that, obviously, we did take the lead. Kraus, great strike. He scored against Oxford in the last game as well, actually. So he scored against them both times this season. Fair play. This was a good strike. McGuinness, you have to give him credit in the game, at times. And that is one of the times you have to give him the credit because it was a great sliding tackle to set up Kraus for the finish. And, great strike. I mean, from that moment on, I'll be honest, I'm still thinking we probably won't win the game just because of previous history with away games. But I'm thinking we're looking a lot better and a lot more lively. As much as they're having their opportunities, we took a chance, and it's a great strike from Kraus, wasn't it, Doug?
Yeah, it was a good finish. Great tenacity from McGuinness to win the ball. It was similar in certain ways to the goal we scored against Oxford at home, where Clark scored, whereas Kraus showed his tenacity and was breaking through. Won the tackle. Good quality finish, and I felt that okay, we've gone 1-0 up. That's good. That's good.
2-0 hole.
Not the same as you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a long way. I was feeling quite positive and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a great finish.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely. And I'll be honest, it was a bit difficult to see from where I was originally. But seeing the replay, I saw it hit the net, but I didn't actually see the strike where I was exactly at the time. But when it hit the net, you knew it's a great strike, just the way it hit the net. We go 1-0 up, then they get an equaliser, Helik. I mean, a few people saying Kaminsky should have done better, but again, I'm going to stand by it. We should be clearing the ball way before that. You could say Hashioka could have done better there. I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but, singling out him when there's individual mistakes like the third goal, what the flipping hell? We'll get onto that in a minute, but it's just poor yet again. It's just a cross into the box. We look so vulnerable still. And again, you can't blame managers for that. You have to blame the players. It's simple flipping stuff. Just mark them. Helik, former Huddersfield player. I think he was part of their team when they beat us in the playoffs. It's just typical, isn't it, really, Dud?
Yeah, like Kaminsky normally is excellent shot, but he got his hand to it. Probably should have done better. Marks down his performance a little bit, but I see Holmes a couple of times now in games like just on the edge of like tackling the player. Do you know what I mean? Just not quite getting there. But I like Holmes. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he's got the time, he'll win the ball off you, he'll tackle you, he'll play the right pass, etc. But I think he's positioning maybe or back up. Options, the other defenders. I've heard a lot of talk about Kaminsky not communicating with his defenders, which you can see sometimes, but generally it doesn't cause too much bother. But I don't see no defenders communicating with fucking each other.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's more important than chatting to the keeper all the time. I don't see that. I don't see the team defending as a unit talking to each other, which would have been when we didn't even have to talk about it before. It was just done in the Luton sides, a couple of years ago. It was just done. Everyone looked for their man automatically, thinking, yeah, he could be a danger and stuff like that. It's not going on. We do miss a leader at the back, 100%. That's been a massive problem since the Lockyer situation. It's so clear. It's glaringly obvious. That's the main issue defensively. Because going forward, we're decent enough. Just But if them players have got confidence, Elijah's a confidence player. He get a couple of goals, the rest of the team's playing shit. It affects him. One up front doesn't really work with what we've got, so that's why we're trying to get in Kone, because he's played that system under this manager successfully. So it's a no-brainer. But yeah, like we could have done better at that, but it just sums it up a little bit. But then the fact that we went and then took the lead was brilliant. And in the second half we just huffed and puffed, didn't we? And as soon as they equalised, our heads dropped. They were trying in spells and that, but it's a subconscious thing in it. That 3 games you lose in a way, you get out of it, you win one, you draw one, you get confidence comes back. Do you know what I mean? This is ridiculous, and it will be affecting them massively psychologically. They go ahead, they're thinking, "Oh, we're ahead." Don't matter how good you are.
Yeah,
we need
felt
to,
like they were
we
like
need
that.
to like try and hold this or whatever. Bang, equalise. Not a great goal to concede. Similar getting set piece, cross into the box. I think it was Holmes who missed out on it.
All of them were crosses.
And then,
every single goal they scored.
And then the last one was just ridiculous. A lot of people were saying Kaminsky should have come to. Maybe, you know what I mean? But we know he doesn't come for a lot of crosses. Not a lot of keepers do. In fact, if you look at it in reality, they don't. Not in the top.
And for me,
leagues.
Someone has to be marking. He's got the whole of fucking Oxford Stadium.
Runner was in the box. He weren't doing anything. Brown was kind of in the middle, but then he had a guy behind him. But then someone should have been like picking up.
And even then, he's an attacker. He shouldn't be.
Should be more split.
Yeah.
Because Holmes and McGuinness were kind of close. Maybe there shouldn't be that. There's not communication in that ranks, but McGuinness is our best defender at the moment. We're missing Mengi massively.
We are, yeah.
When Doughty come on,
he was really good. He was quality. Excellent. I mean, Darth Vader said in the comments.
He looked worlds apart. He looked like a Premier League player. Do you know what I mean? And even that, when he played cross that low into the box, Morris should have got the end of that, man. Kone, like a better striker, a pacier striker would have got the end of that. But it's a learning curve for Matt Bloomfield. You know what I mean? He can see what's going on. He will change players up, and I think he will tomorrow. Last time we played at home, we restricted Preston, who then went on to beat Watford. So yeah, just get into the player ratings quick. Yeah,
just quickly, I just wanted to say McGuinness, great aerially. As that threat again, attacking wise, obviously scored as well. I knew it cleared the line from where I was. Like, that's definitely cleared the line. Obviously, it did. But yeah, just capitulation. As soon as they get their equaliser, you're thinking the same thing. They'd be very lucky to get a draw at this rate. Especially being away, home crowd's going to be well up for it, and they were. They were shooting the end of where their fans were in the second half. They're the noisy ones anyway. So they're probably always going to do it. But I'm not blaming Kaminsky for the goal. Stop this Kaminsky slander. Yes, his distribution's crap. It is crap sometimes. It is. It goes out for a throw. But it's shot stopping. We would be where Plymouth are if it wasn't for him. So I don't want to hear people saying, time to move on. Who are we going to put in goal? James Shea. Get in the bin. Yeah? Get in the bin. Yeah? Flipping hell. Tim Krul, last couple of times he's played for Luton, he's been abysmal. Yes, Jay Shea steps up, but he's not that level, guys, yeah? So, he may not be the best goalkeeper with or whatever, Kaminsky, I'm not saying that, but he's good enough, yeah? And I don't like the disrespect. The defence should be just dealing with it, yeah? Simple as. It's simple fucking schoolboy shit. Marking. It's not hard, is it, really? Well, it clearly is for them. I can't blame the manager. There was people at the end moaning because people were clapping, and I've been part of that. But I was at the game, yeah? And I'll tell everyone that wasn't at the game what it was, yeah? They were booing the players, as they should, because most of them were disgraceful. and then they'll clap him Matt, which is fair enough. You know, he's come in. I can't blame him for that performance. He made us look better in spells, you know, attacking wise, passing the ball, stuff like that. You know, he can't help some stupid error that then players need to hold accountability for. We've got rid of the manager that we all wanted to get rid of at some point, whether you liked him or not. You know, we had to get rid of him at some point. We overdue it. Either way, yeah, we got rid of him. We done what we wanted to do, or wanted to see as fans. Yeah, and the players are still not performing to a good enough level. Really, realistically, you know, they're not at this moment in time. So let's say third time lucky, Matt Bloomfield's third game tomorrow. Let's see, innit? Let's see what can happen. But I'm not putting no nothing on him. He's just come in at the end of the day. Them players need to hold accountability. And he actually made us look probably one of the best good performances, first half performances in a very long time that we've seen really. Against Oxford. So, yeah, that's that. But, yeah, getting into the player ratings, Kaminsky, I'd say maybe he should have saved the first goal, but the third goal, I don't want to hear it. I don't. The defence should be doing much better. And people going, oh, he never claims it. Did you not watch the Preston game? Or am I the only one that watched that game? Right? He was claiming it. No, because I'm sick of it. Yeah, that guy, if it weren't for his shot stopping, we would be where Plymouth are. And I don't care what anybody says, yeah? And people go, yeah, but Plymouth is so crap, they're worse than us away. We lost to them, yeah? Getting sick of it. But yeah, Kaminsky, not the best of games, but like I say, he did do a good save at one point towards the end of the first half as well. Let's not forget that. So for me, I'm going 6. I'll go 6. I'm not going too low.
I'll give him a 6. Yeah, it wasn't his best game, but I initially when he, I don't think he's come back from injury or when he first started for us, he did make proper glaring errors. Do you know what I mean? Punching it into his own net almost and stuff like that. But since then, he's stepped up. He's had to deal with a lot of shit. You know, defensively, he was in the Premier League. We've probably let in over 100 goals. And we've just been shambles. And like that man's continued to step up. We're lucky we still got him, to be honest with you. Yeah. You know, there's a passing, his distribution, it's not that bad. I've seen a hell of a lot worse. You know, he's a very good keeper at this level, no doubt about it. So, but yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Again, I do not care what anybody says. Yeah, when it comes to his shot stopping, it's top 3 in the league. It's top 3 in the league, even higher, potentially. Because I look at these keepers, Trafford's overrated. Yeah, get that guy in the bin. 1 season, 20 million. Get in the bin. Yeah. Flipping Cooper at Sheffield United, he's all right, but at the moment, they're 2-0 down to Hull. You know, I can't blame him for the goals, probably, but still. There's not really a lot. There's not really a lot of great keepers in the Championship. You know, the Stoke one, he's up there. You know, he is up there. But other than that, I can't really think of loads, to be quite honest with you. You know, a lot of them are second string for ones that are meant to be so good and all. So, yeah. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Hashioka. I mean, tackling, like I say, I thought he was really good. Should have done a little bit better on the first goal, like I say. But I think he was one of the better players, and he should be one of them players out of that team that should hold his head up high, to be honest with you. So for me, I'll go slightly higher than Kaminsky. I'll go 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5. He looks like he's there. He's getting started. He's looking like he's trying to prove himself to the manager, which he is. You know what I mean? 'Cause he's working hard. He's not perfect, but you know that's not his normal member. He was better in the wing back role rather than as a right back. So considering that as well, you know, and where Bell's playing, considering he's normally like a left wing back, the difference, you know what I mean? Drain mate, come. Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah. No, I thought he was decent. There was a moment in the first half. It was the other side of where we were, but he like I think he lost it, but then he got it back and he had a massive a good scrap, not like a full on obviously, but like just to win the ball, and he just cleared it in the end, and it was sick to see from him, to be honest. So Yeah, I was impressed with his performance, to be honest. Bell, moving on to Bell, yeah, might as well. Terrible. We've said it game upon game, with him this season, especially since he's come back. It's worst game for Luton here, worst game for Luton here. That game the other day was shocking from him. I couldn't believe it. He was just sitting back, letting I can't say the guy's name, I'll be honest. But he was letting that guy just take the piss out of him, really. There was a moment where they should have had a penalty. That all started because he didn't go to him and actually try and compete and win the ball off him. I don't know what he was doing. It was like he was fearful of getting hurt or something by this guy. It was crazy. So, yeah, worst performance I've seen of Bell. That was shocking. Absolutely shocking. That was so disappointing. I can't think of one thing he done right. Even when he's on the ball at the back, you know what he's going to do. He's going to try and turn, cut in. It's so predictable. And sometimes he sits on the ball too long for me, and invites pressure. And I felt he'd done that a few times in the game. So one of the worst games, if not the worst game I've seen from him. And a lot of people change their, tune on him now, especially, going forward, keeping him and stuff. A lot of people saying, nah, not anymore. So, yeah. I might have to agree if that continues, but that was awful. So I'm going with a 4. I was so disappointed. It's going to go even lower.
I won't go. I'll give him a 5. Like, he just looked a bit lost out there. A bit, the Helic, not Helic, the winger.
Placella or
the Polish guy. He's running rings around him constantly. They kept playing it down that side. I don't know, man. I'm hoping it's just an off game. But, the guy's 30. He's kind of like, he's been a good servant for us.
Yeah, definitely.
He is good going forward, but in this game, he definitely went great. I know I'd be dropping him and put someone else left back, so I'm moving 5. Let's move on. Come on.
Yeah, let's move.
Let's move.
Holmes, again, not a great game from him. I thought out of the 2 centre backs, obviously, he was the worst one. Just marking is just not. I don't know what it is. It's basically what you said earlier that with him. I like him and I do think he has deserved to play. Despite these injuries we've had, but that game he was quite disappointing. I'll be honest. Played for Reading as well, so might have had that extra grit, against Oxford, which you could say is a bit of a rivalry. But yeah, it was just disappointing, man. So for me. Yeah, I was disappointed with Holmes. I'll go 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. Just like I said earlier, I think he will become a good player. But I just think he's just, and he is trying, but it's just that little bit late on the tackle. Do you know what I mean? But I think he will improve. I can see him improving. I remember Mengi being a bit like that on his debut. I think it was, and then after that, it was just excellent. But yeah, I can see bits in him, but I think he's better at left back as well, personally. So yeah, I'm 5.5.
Fair enough. Moving on to McGuinness, obviously scored and assisted. For a defender, you wouldn't be saying that a lot in games. Again, broke that threat from set pieces, like he does. Defensively, okay, especially if you're comparing him to Holmes, but still, obviously, that moment at the end, he was a part of that. So it's going to have to knock his rating down a little bit. But I'm going to still have to go over 6.5 because he got goal and assist.
Do you know what? I'm going to give him a 7. His tenacity for the first goal, the second goal that he scored as well, reaching up. Like defensively, he was alright. Like there's 3 other defenders around. Do you know what I mean? And the rest of the fucking team. So people were underestimating him. He's not worth this, that, and the other. Well, currently, he's our best defender. Challenge that. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that's understandable. Moving on to the next player, we will go over to Nakamba. Now, I thought he was unbelievable in this game. I thought some of the stuff he was doing, he did not deserve to be on the losing team for me. He was so good on the ball. Everything he done was really good, bar maybe one thing. But predominantly, considering he is the only guy there in front of that defence, he was quality. You know, in his own little role, he was absolutely quality. You know, and that is the Nakamba of old. And again, guys, I say I don't really give man of the matches when we lose, but he deserves it for me. You know, like I say, he did not deserve to be on the losing team for me. He was unbelievable in this game. You know, I think he even nearly had a shot at one point. You know, we were urging him to shoot, and yeah, he was good in the game. So for me, I'm going to go over 7. Really, really impressed with Nakamba this game. He's getting better and better game upon game.
Yeah, I thought he was decent. You know, sort of, you know, that standard prem experience that he's got, just making the right pass, being a bit patient. Do you know what I mean? Trying to win the ball back where he knows he can. You know, he is definitely improving, and I think he'll start again. Yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, no, he was quality. It was quality for me. Moving on to the next player, I'll go to Nelson. I'll be honest, he has dropped off a little bit last couple of games. But again, you know, youngster, you don't really want to, in my opinion, you don't really want to start him as much as we have. But we have. Did get a yellow card. Disappointing. Again, that's where, you know, likes of him and Johnson, their inexperience does come in. These silly tackles at points, let's be honest. You know, obviously it was in the first half. He was saying, "What did I do?" and stuff. Not great. I mean, a few bits of decent play, but yeah, not the best from him. But he's still got a lot to learn, so I'll just go for 6.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give him a 6 as well.
There you go, just like that. And then moving on to the next player, Jones. Obviously, did come off in this game. He's still learning a lot, you know, obviously in this team. And yeah, I thought he was good, you know, running at players and, you know, doing what he has done for us. And for the spell that he was on for, obviously, he did come off, like I say, obviously in the 61st minute, I thought he was decent. So, yeah, I'll go 6.5 for Jones.
Yeah, the same 6.5. I think, as you say, like the team's still learning as well, like what the manager wants and stuff. But he'll fit in at some point. Definitely, he's showing that ability. He just needs the connections, you know, them passes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly that. Moving on to next player, we will go over to Kraus. We'll start off with Kraus. Obviously, did get the goal. Working hard again. Could argue maybe another player that didn't deserve, well, one of the better players, shall I say, for us. Again, you know, it's one of them where it comes off. You do question it a little bit. I know Bloomfield's trying to see every player, so then again, you probably don't because of that. Obviously, Ruddock come on for him. There's been a few times with that with Kraus where he's come off and you'd be like, what? But, you know, let Bloomfield have the benefit of the doubt there in that situation. But yeah, I mean, Kraus, I thought he was okay, to be honest. Again, another 6.5.
I'll give him a 7. I thought it was a lovely finish from him.
Good to see that, yeah.
And you know, he was tenacious, doing what he normally does. Do you know what I mean? I felt like maybe Wall should have come on. Come off.
I agree.
I thought it was all right. Yeah, I want us to keep him.
Definitely.
I think he did. He's
going to be hard to, I reckon.
Well, I think he wants to stay. So it's just whether the other club don't want him. I think he'll stay. Even if we get relegated, I think he'll stay. And you know, we'll be lucky to keep him because he is a good player. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, no, we will be. And then moving on to Clark, again, one of the better players for us. Was good in this game. And yeah, you know, he was trying to take on players, you know, good passing in between him and other players. You know, he has done well the last 3 games. You do have to give him that credit, you know, since he come on against Forest. He's been good. So for me, I will go, again, another 6.5.
I'm going to give Clark the man of the match.
All right.
I thought, you know, since he started taking the free kicks and that for us, he's done really well, and he's involved in both of these goals as well, especially the second one. Brilliant delivery.
Yeah, it was.
You know, excellent, really, really good. He just seems to have stepped up, and he was captain as well for a lot of this game. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.5.
It's fair enough. And then moving on to the last player that started, obviously Elijah. he was terrible in this game. We have to be
5. I don't even want to discuss any more about it.
Slipping all over the place.
It was.
He couldn't hold on to the ball because he kept falling over. It was so bad. It was actually so bad. And again, I called for him to start. So did my dad. Obviously, he sent me the lineup before when I was at the game and stuff. And we was calling for him to start because it brings a different dimension. But it was so bad in the game. It was crazy, really, how bad he actually was. Yeah, Dad's walked out like Darth Vader said in the chat. That sums up his performance. It's so bad. Oh my god. Oh yeah, 5. And apparently Hull scored again. So that's just great. 3-0 Hull.
Yeah, I know. They look good though, from what I've seen.
Yeah, their team around us, they lost to us.
They look really good. So this is like,
guys, I think I might be doing Hull away. Am I sure I want to do that?
4. I know that is a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a good goal.
I told you, they're doing serious business. You got to remember, I talked to Lewis, who is a Hull lover, bruv. Yeah, he tells me everything. They are signing some good players for them to keep them up. It just annoys me. We're going to go hard in this window. Hard. What are we doing?
Right, subs. On everyone else, like 6s.
Well, no, Doughty give higher.
Yeah, everyone else, I said. Doughty is 7. He was really good. Looked like a Premier League player when he's coming on, putting in quality crosses. And that moment where he just nicked the ball off of him and started darting forward, that was brilliant. He needs to be starting. We really need it. It's crazy how much we worked him to death. You know what I mean? So it lowered his quality a little bit because I think he was just getting spanked all the way from the Premier League. But you can see already how much difference he makes, and I think maybe it's a good thing that he got injured because I think for the rest of the season, he could be massive for us, especially with the new manager and the way we want to play and stuff.
It was so good to see him come on and be higher up there.
Obviously, so that's it for the rest of it for me.
Will you say for Doughty 6.5?
7.
Yeah, no, I agree. Everyone else is 6. Yeah, I echo the same thoughts. It was good to, like I say, my additional bit. It was just good to see him higher up. You know what I mean? Coming on higher up, and I mean, there was them moments, obviously, where he was starting to take every set piece, and I hope that don't happen when he does start the games. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, a large part of that was obviously Clark coming off, but that was a bit later on. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, overall disappointing away day again, really. But again, you can't put it on Bloomfield. The players have to take responsibility now, most of them, and to the ones that did play well, like I say, for me was Clark. I'd say Kraus in there as well. More I think about it, Nakamba and I thought Hashioka was decent. Yeah, the rest of them not good enough. Not good enough to their standards really. So yeah, moving on from that. Talking on transfer news, obviously Richard Kone. Obviously there was a bid rejected that we put in. We have put an improved bid in. Will we get our man that we desperately want, Dad?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll get him before the Sheffield Wednesday game. Disappointing that we can't get him already, but they're always going to reject the first bid. Transfer market is worth $500,000. It's relatively unproven to a certain extent. But he's obviously a very good player. I've seen his stats even like in the lower leagues and stuff. Incredible. We just got to up it, and that's what he's naturally going to do.
Excuse me.
Obviously, it'd be undisclosed from our side, but I reckon we'll probably end up giving him, quite a lot of dollar because he's going to want to go. Personally, I think so. He's vital to them. So they're gonna want a lot of dollar, 3, 4, 5 million, and then the thing is, if he wants to go, they're gonna have to do it quickly, because then they've got the clout as well to go and get someone in. You know what I mean? If they leave it, and then he's unhappy, he's going to go in the summer anyway, whether it's to us or someone else. But it makes sense that he comes to us. Bloomfield got the best out of him, brought him to the club. It just makes sense. So if I was the player, I'd be pushing for that move, which I believe he is doing. So it's just a matter of time. But I think Sheffield Wednesday, he'll be starting personally.
Yeah, I hope so. Especially if we stick with one up front. You know, you've got to go with him. Obviously, if we do get him in, because he's proven to do it, like you said, and especially under Bloomfield, and the others are not doing it at this moment in time. So I totally agree. You know, we shall see what happens on it, really. Darth Vader has a question for us. He says, would you guys be tempted to play 4-4-2 with Jones and Doughty as wide midfielders?
Potentially, but at the moment, I think, yeah, we could do. You could put Kraus.
Probably Nick Amber. But again, it depends who you're playing, really. If you're away against Burnley, Sheffield United, then you go with them.
Yeah, we've got the options to do that, but as it's the manager's preferred formation, and he knows generally what he wants to get out of that, I think it's best to go with that for now. Do you know what I mean? And it has kind of worked. We've been in good situations. The draw Preston, yeah, everyone would say they were dog shit or whatever, but you know, so are we.
Yeah.
You know, and we looked good against them, and then they went on and beat Millwall.
Watford, you mean?
Watford, sorry. And then, you know, we look good, definitely in spells. Our best away kind of attacking performance, you could say, maybe. Well, not really, but do you know what I mean? The tenacity that we showed in that. Yes, it's Oxford, this, that, and that, but we're fucking down here.
Yeah.
We could probably play fucking Salford or fucking Wrexham now.
Well, like I say, Plymouth are the worst side in the league, and we lost to them.
Yeah, so
quite heavily as well. So yeah, at this point, like they both have to play. Yeah, I mean we've said that a lot this season. You know, we need two up front, and that's the only thing. And like I said, I was sceptical when we were looking at Bloomfield for that reason. Even when we did get him in, that's the only thing I have been sceptical of is him playing that one up front because of that. You know, a lot of times this season, Sheffield Wednesday, I remember coming out of that saying we need two up front. You know, then we started doing that, and we were.
It did work for a while.
Yeah, we weren't blowing teams, like we weren't winning convincingly, but we still getting points. You know what I mean? That's what mattered at the time. And yeah, it just don't look like it's going to change to it. And I just feel Elijah does bring more than Morris at this moment in time, even though they're both on terrible form. You know, I think Elijah brings more to his game. He's got more pace. You know, he can get in behind, whereas Morris sort of holds up the ball and looks for options, comes deep sometimes as well, which then don't help because then you've literally got no one. So, yeah, I do agree with that, but it's just I just don't think we will do it, unfortunately, when it comes to that. But yeah, that's our thoughts on the Kone situation. Now moving on to Millwall. Now, I haven't got the stats like I usually do. Actually, no, I will be able to get them up, actually, for this game. 1 second. But yeah, Millwall, I mean, it's going to be interesting going into this game. Obviously, they're not so good away themselves. But Luton Town are unbeaten across their last 6 league games against Millwall, winning 2, losing 4, keeping a clean sheet in each of their last 2 meetings with the Lions. Millwall failed to win any of their last 6 away league games against Luton since a 1-0 victory in October 2000. Each of their last 5 visits, however, finished as a draw. Luton have lost just 1 of their last 8 home league games, winning 4, drawing 3, a 1-0 defeat to Norwich. Across that stint, the Hatters haven't conceded more than 1 goal in any of those matches. Millwall failed to win any of their last 6 away league games, like I say, on their form, lasting during their longer run without victory on the road between March and October 2022, which was 12 matches. And then Millwall boss Alex Neil has won none of his 3 Football League away games against Luton, drawing 1, losing 2, losing his last 2 visits with Preston, December 2020, and Stoke, February 2023. So a lot of the stats there, they do actually favour us going into this game. I say Millwall are poor away as well, like we are. But yeah, a bit more on them. So they'll be travelling down to prove a point after conceding a late equaliser against Cardiff on Tuesday night, 2-2 draw. Scored with the final touch of the game. Cardiff player snatching away their first championship win as boss. Flipping hell. The poor run of results has dragged the Lions closer to the bottom three after they sat in 10th following victory against Blackburn Rovers last month. 6 games without a win leaves them 5 points above the drop zone. So yeah, last time we met was obviously our only away win of 2024, which is crazy. Obviously, Mengi scored the spectacular one. Official for this game will be Gavin Ward. Last time we had him was obviously when we was at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. Man.
He's not good, is he?
Everyone was calling Bobby Bill, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, It's not a Premier League referee predominantly, but still not a great referee. But we got to deal with that. The referee was terrible the other day. Linesman was terrible for both teams. Well, the linesman, the one that was on our side, where the away fans were, oh my God, he was so bad. But we got to deal with it. We can't use that as an excuse. We got to flip and do our job. We got to turn up and not do individual mistakes. But yeah, a lot of stuff favour us, Dad. Like I say, they will feel a little bit heartbreak, but at least they didn't lose their game. But how are you feeling going into this one?
Yeah, I'm feeling quite confident that we can get a result. Just thinking about that referee anyway, we did actually win that game, and he gave us a penalty, which definitely was a penalty.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think our last game at home was right. Millwall struggle, especially against us. So yeah, I'm feeling quite confident for this game.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we can get something out of the game, at least due to that record and Millwall not being so great away either. We have to start getting results, guys. Hull have just won 3-0 away at Sheffield United. A lot of Hull fans yesterday telling me they're going to get absolutely smoked. I said, no, you only lose 1-0, if that. That's put them up to 18th.
2 points from safety.
Look at us now. The Derby are down there. Look, we need to get a win. Really, yeah, we need to get a win. We need to get a win now, guys. Now this is live and direct. Seeing the table after that game, we need to get a win. And I know I said we need to win against Oxford, but we really do now because the point gap is a bit more now than it was at that time. So we have to get a result, guys. Yeah, we have to get a win. Realistically, I can't really get a draw, really. But yeah, we shall see. Third time lucky for Bloomfield. Can it turn around? But moving on to the lineups, what we go with, do get involved in the chat. So my lineup going into this game is as follows. So I've gone with this. So I've gone Kaminsky in goal still. A few people have been saying drop him and all this craziness. No chance. Is that going to happen? Kaminsky in goal. I've gone back 4. I've gone the formation we went with against Preston, which was a 4-2-3-1. So Hashioka on the right side. Stick with him. I thought he was decent. I would actually go Johnson now. Apparently, there's potential rumours that he might go out on loan. Again, I've always said it with the youngsters. I don't see the point because they're not part of the 25-man squad. So, I get it for their, minutes and stuff, but that's more for the ones in the development squad and stuff. These ones, I thought they'd break through. And again, that was Rob Edwards who said that. But, listening to Bloomfield on it, he sounded convinced that Nelson's going to stay in and around it. Johnson, it sort of maybe sounded like it's going to get loaned out. Obviously, he was at Oxford the other day. He just wasn't actually in the squad. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. But I'm going to go with him because Bell, it was terrible. It's terrible, man. And, yeah, it's crazy. I actually think Johnson is more composed than Bell at the moment, to be honest with you. I'm going to go Anderson, obviously, again. I'm going to drop Holmes for this one. I thought McGuinness was the better centre-back, so I'm going to go with Anderson. Obviously, Bloomfield's got puts Anderson in high regard because obviously he saw him when he was at Barnsley and stuff. So yeah, I'll go Anderson. I am getting a bit annoyed now with him just being on the bench and not coming on. And some people have been saying, "Oh, he's not match fit." Why is he on the bench then? If that's the case, and I don't want to hear all filling up numbers. No, it shouldn't be on the bench full stop if that's the case. But I've seen him warming up. I saw it literally in front of my own eyes against Preston, and he looked okay. So let's go with it. Change it up a little bit. We have to after that, in my opinion. McGuinness, obviously, stick with him. Goes without saying, really. My two that I've gone with there, obviously, Kraus and Nakamba. Again, you might want to change it a little bit. But again, because we're at home, but I don't really know who else you put there, to be honest. Stick with them two, really, if in this type of formation. And then Doughty, I'm starting him, because of how impactful he was, or at least try to be for us. Jones on the right, I'm going to stay with Jones. Moses, don't think was he even on the bench the other day.
No.
I don't think he was, and obviously there's been rumours that he might go in January. I don't really care at this point. He's been quite disappointing, to be honest, and that's what happens. We sign these bigger names, in football, and 9 times out of 10 they're crap for us. Obviously bar Ross Barkley and the Conga, I can't really think, of others that have been great. Townsend weren't great. Jerome, when we signed him at the time, he weren't great. Do you know what I mean? They're like bigger, experienced names, and they ain't been great over the years, some of them. So, yeah. And then I'm going to go Clark. You've got to stick with him based on his form. And then up front, I've gone Elijah. It's difficult for a striker. I'll be honest, guys. I was actually generally, it wouldn't happen, but I was thinking of putting Nelson up front because Morris has been crap. Elijah was terrible the other day. Brown, by the way, yeah, let's talk about that. He could not pass the ball to save his life the other day. It was so bad.
Brown. I don't even think give him a rating, did we?
Just a 6 because he was part of the subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was so bad. But I'm going to stick with Elijah. And again, it's like what I said earlier. It brings a different dimension, to Morris. So even though he's poor the other day, I don't know who else there is to go with. If we had Kone, I'd be sticking him in straight away, but we don't. So I've got to go with that as for my lineup. So as for your lineup, Dad, there you go.
So obviously I've gone Kaminsky in goal, very good goalkeeper. Hashioka, you've got to start him again. Obviously sticking with McGuinness. I'm also bringing Anderson in, but I'm going to put Holmes at left back. I think Holmes is all right at left back personally, so I'm going to start him there. I'm going to go with the formation we kind of had in the last games. I'm going to put Nakamba in front of the defence. Jones on the right, bringing in Doughty straight away. Sticking with them two in midfield like Clark and Kraus, and then again similar to you, like Elijah up front. I think it's the best option we've got at the moment. I don't think it's going to change it too much. I'm going to go, fuck it, I'll try Brown there. You know what I mean? We're just going to go through a list. And plus Elijah has got quite a good record against Mill as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And to be fair, if you go with probably more chance of yours, to be honest, because like I say, what he's the way it's come across when it's come to talking about Johnson, really. So we shall see. But is that time? Score predictions. Now we've all just seen the whole result. We have to win that, don't we?
There's a little bit more pressure on us. It's not a must-win, but sometimes, like how precarious the situation has actually become. I'm talking to you before, but yeah, they won't sack Rob Edwards until we're like 4 points from safety. But I meant like in a little bit higher, and do you know what I mean? But yeah, it looks bad, and that is the after effects of that. We should have parted ways a lot sooner. The signs were there from the second half of the last season in the Premier League. The goals were shifting. I said to you as well, Ty, I've mentioned this before in pre-season, we was letting into a lot of goals, and we watched some of them games and it was just too easy. And it's just continued. And, the criticisms, Kaminsky, in any other team who wasn't defending like that, he'd be getting them into the playoffs or into promotion places, 100%. And you've got to look at that, right? But I'm sure it'll be sorted. I think we'll just be safe this season, but it's going to be a massive learning curve. Where you've got to spend a little bit more money. You've got to do it. You've got to take that risk a little bit more. But I'm feeling quite confident because of the record we've got against them, and the little bit of edge on it now. Their rivalry as well. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Luton win.
Fair enough. As for me, as much as I feel we need a win now after that whole result, I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say a lively draw. A lot of goals. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, which we do like over the years. I remember going a good few seasons ago. It was 2-2. I think Elijah and Berry scored in that game. So I'm going to go with that. But yeah, we really need to start winning games now. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, we will be playing, the likes of Lincoln City next season, which is not great. And Collins has just went there. So probably flipping score if that happened. But yeah, any final things you want to say, Dad?
No, come on. Like a rivalry. Let's get on it, mate.
Early kickoff, maybe.
Early kickoff.
Can that make an impact?
I think it'd be all right. Keep the faith.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, other score predictions. Darth Vader's gone 3-1, assuming Miller keeping a clean sheet. Oh, mate, assuming we don't mark properly and concede a silly goal, which probably will. We ain't keeping a clean sheet, is what I'll say on that. But yeah, 3-1, fair enough, mate. Jamie's gone 1-1. I'm going to say draw, but we need a win. Yeah, we do. We literally do now. It's got to that stage now because the point gap is just getting bigger and bigger when it comes to that. Yeah, hopefully you get better soon, mate. But yeah, it's just
Goal scorers for me is going to be Elijah Adebayo and Jones.
Thing is, I don't even want to go with a striker, but like you say, on Elijah's record, it is actually really good against Millwall, to be fair. So I will go Elijah and I'll go McGuinness. I'll go McGuinness. From a set piece or something, I can see it. Especially the threat that he does cause from set pieces. But yeah, that's a good shout, to be fair, Does. Doughty to lift the fans, yeah. That's a good shout. That is a good shout. I reckon he'll get an assist for McGuinness. Yeah, I reckon he'll assist McGuinness.
Doughty apparently supports Millwall.
Yeah, so you have that extra determination, yeah.
To score, and we need to. So, you know what I mean? I think that'll happen as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we shall see. But Dad, any final things or, anything else? Keep the faith, anything else?
Yeah, keep the faith. KSI might one day fight John Terry. But yeah, just look forward to
Well, he might call you out next.
I'd love to see that. KSI versus Roy Keane.
Oh, mate, he would want it with Roy Keane, would he?
Oh,
anyway, talk about boxing. Well, it is next month. There is that good fight. Well, good fights. Obviously, the rematch, and then you got on the same night you got Parker Thingy.
The bar.
That's the one. So that should be a good fight, actually. And I think the winner fight Usyk, don't they? So that'd be pretty sick to see who that is when it comes to that. But yeah, regarding this game, I'll not be going. However, we will be doing a vlog from home. The usual. We'll probably do a reaction like we did in the Bristol City game. We'll do something like that. And David will be going to the game as well. So there will still be the fan cams, guys. So yeah, stay tuned and check them out. Obviously, if you are going to the game, do come over. It'll be opposite the club shop, and obviously Mike will do one as always. So shout out to Mike every time. So yeah, content coming out tomorrow regarding the game. So do check all that out when it does drop and stuff like that. Holmes to get a goal this time as well, says Darth Vader. Fair enough, mate. Barry says we need a win. However, it'll be 1-1. Yeah, it's 1-1 minute. That's how I feel. But with a 2-2, we need to win. And knowing us will draw. And I totally agree with a draw scenario to speak. But yeah, big up to everyone. Like I say, smash a like if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do get the likes up, people, as well as you leave. Obviously, if you do watch this back on playback, obviously do smash a like there. Like I say, subscribe, follow me across all my socials, and yeah, nothing else to say other than Luton need to start picking up points now. Simple as that. So hopefully we do, and we shall see. We will see you lot tomorrow. Until then, take care and peace.